Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of Storytime. Today's first story is about Edward VI, and this story takes place in England. So let's listen to his story now. What would you do if you were a king or a queen? Live in a castle? Wear lovely clothes? Tell people what to do? Edward VI was a real king. His father was one of the most famous English kings, Henry VIII. Henry died when Edward was only 9, so Edward then became king. Edward did live in a castle, he did wear lovely clothes, and he did tell people what to do. But the most important thing Edward did was to help people in England find out about his friend, Jesus. Edward was only a boy, and he was only king for 6 years because he died when he was just 15. But he did everything he could to help people find out about Jesus. Edward was very clever and knew all about the Bible. He made sure that English Bibles were in every church so that ordinary people could find out about Jesus. He made sure church services helped people understand how they could be Jesus' friends and help them understand the Bible. He gave important jobs to Jesus' friends who would help him rule England in the way Jesus wanted. Edward was only a boy. He was only king for 6 years and he died when he was just 15. But while he was king, more and more people in England became Jesus' friends. Our next story is about Lord Shaftesbury, and this story also takes place in England. Let's listen to what he has to say. Do you have chores to do at home? What is the worst job? Tidying your room? Laying the table? Helping in the garden? 200 years ago in England, children did some horrible jobs, not just sometimes, but all day, every day. Some worked all day every day down dark, dirty, and dangerous mines. Some worked all day every day up dark, dirty, and dangerous chimneys. Some worked all day every day in dusty, dingy, and dangerous factories. Lord Shaftesbury was an important man. He was from an important family. He was a member of Parliament, and he was Jesus' friend. He knew his friend Jesus loved children, so Lord Shaftesbury used his important job to help them. He found out as much as he could about the children's jobs, how long they worked, how much they were paid, what work they did. He tried to change laws so children didn't have to work all day every day in dark, dirty, and dangerous places. Bit by bit, the laws were changed. Young children weren't allowed to work in mines. Young children weren't allowed to work up chimneys. Young children weren't allowed to work at all. Now children could learn instead of work, so there was a law that said all young children must go to school. Lord Shaftesbury helped make children's lives safer, easier, and more fun. Thank you, Lord Shaftesbury. Our third and final story is about Countess Selena. This story also takes place in England. So let's listen to her story now. If you had more money than you could ever dream of, what would you do with it? Would you buy toys, or games, or presents for your friends? Selena, Countess of Huntingdon, had much more money than most people could ever dream of. She was very, very rich. Her house was very, very big. Her friends were very, very important. She was even friends with the king and queen. Then she became Jesus' friend. She knew that being Jesus' friend was far better than being very, very rich. Better than having a very, very big house, better than having very, very important friends. Selena wanted everyone to know how they could be Jesus' friends too. She wanted rich people to learn about Jesus. She wanted poor people to learn about Jesus. She wanted people in England to learn about Jesus. She wanted people in other countries to learn about Jesus, so she gave her money away. She gave her money to build churches where all kinds of people could learn about Jesus. She gave her money to men who would teach people about Jesus in England. She gave her money to men who could teach people about Jesus in other countries. She had no more money, but because of Selena, Jesus had lots more friends.